Did you know that when Britain and France declared war on Germany in September 1939, they barely took any real action to help their ally Poland? It's one of the most puzzling and debated moments in modern history. Why, after making such a momentous decision to go to war, did the Allies hesitate to act decisively? What held them back from launching a full-scale offensive against Hitler's forces when it might have made all the difference? Let's break it down. In the tense summer of 1939, Europe was a continent on edge. The memories of the First World War were still fresh in everyone's minds. Millions of lives lost, cities destroyed, and families torn apart. People across Europe anxiously listened to radio broadcasts, read newspaper headlines, and wondered if another catastrophe was about to unfold. The sense of dread was almost palpable, as if the world was holding its breath. Then, in a move that stunned the world, Germany and the Soviet Union signed a secret agreement known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. This wasn't just a non-aggression treaty, it included a secret protocol to carve up Eastern Europe between them. Suddenly, two of the most powerful dictatorships in the world were working together, and their first target was Poland. The news sent shockwaves through Europe. Poland, caught between these two giants, was now in an impossible position. Ordinary Polish citizens watched with growing fear as the threat of invasion loomed. The world's attention turned to Warsaw, wondering if the Western democracies would come to Poland's aid. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland with overwhelming force, launching the Blitzkrieg that would become infamous. In response, Britain and France declared war on Germany 2 days later, fulfilling their promises to defend Poland. For a brief moment, it seemed like the Allies were ready to stand up to Hitler and stop his aggression in its tracks. But what happened next was a shock to many. Instead of launching a major offensive into Germany, the Allies made only a token advance into the Saarland, a small region along the German border. There was no real attempt to break through German defenses or relieve the pressure on Poland. The world watched, confused and disappointed, as the Western Front remained eerily quiet. Why didn't the Allies do more? Why, after declaring war, did they hold back? The answer is complicated, involving a mix of military unpreparedness, political caution, and the haunting legacy of the First World War. First and foremost, the Allies simply weren't ready for a major war. Both Britain and France had spent the 1930s hoping to avoid another conflict, and their armies were not fully mobilized or equipped for a rapid offensive. Troops were still being called up, equipment was in short supply, and military plans were incomplete. The French army in particular was slow to mobilize, and British forces were only just beginning to arrive on the continent. The trauma of World War I cast a long shadow over both countries. The horrors of trench warfare,